As you were talking about Neem Karoli Baba, you know, the only time people have seen him crying is when, after a gathering, he finds that no one is interested in God. That made him cry. He thought, why everyone? Because, he used to give a very good feast. There was always a feast at their temple. There was always food prepared. Everyone they will have. And he never asked money. He said, you should never ask any Western devotees any money for any reason. Feed them, feed everyone. But then he used to get really, emotional about that. These people come, but no one is interested in God.
Everyone
He
is
said,
interested in food.
yeah. So anyway, this is what it is all about. He never gave any teachings as such. But his life itself is a teaching, He was always in that japa, constantly. It's beautiful.
There's somebody has sent a note about him recently that around Bhagavan Mahanirvana, he was in a shop or something and suddenly became very quiet. And 2 tears came down from his eyes. And he was asking he says, so much agony, give some water. Very softly he said that. So the lady with him gave him 2 teaspoons of water. And she didn't know what it was about. Suddenly he was so quiet. And then he opened his eyes and said that a great saint has left today, So it was very
Actually, when Bhagavan left his body, that was a very big event, and almost all the sages and saints of that time actually felt it very, very deeply. Similar thing I've heard about Anandamayi Ma also,
Yeah.
So this is so Neelakantanji, should we start with some prayer?
Yes. As you're talking about Guru, suddenly one thing flashed on my mind. Jakate mavitum kalita kritayo vicharanti mahamara satchalata ahimam shuri vadra vibhasi guru Baba Shankara Deshikame Sharanam. This is talking about Shankaracharya, but is applicable to all the gurus. There are many gurus who are walking around this world, enlightening people. But when the Surya of my guru, when the sun of my guru comes, fade away like stars when the sun rises. So anybody who catch hold, he is your guru, and when he comes, all other gurus go away to the shadow. Like all the stars fade away when the sun rises.
I was reading something from S.S. Cohen, Reminiscences of Bhagavan.
Yeah.
And he said Bhagavan used to get very animated when he used to talk about something about someone, especially he used to get very emotional about this bhakti of devotion of anyone. And this is what I heard about Kabir. Bhagavan told them that there was a juggler who came and he was doing some jugglery outside. He put a stick in the air. And someone came to Kabir to tell, look, these people are showing these miracles and you know all the miracles. You are the miracle of miracles. Why don't you go out? He said, I don't care. He said, no, the people get attracted to these things. You should show something. So he was a weaver, He was weaving. So he had a ball of thread. He took that and he threw it like this. It went like a straight thread into the sky. And people couldn't see the other end of that thread when Kabir did it. And then everyone just were astonished and they were feeling reverence that he is only gaining money from just weaving those. He was poorest of poor, Kabir. He never thought about money, though you can see that he had also sort of siddhis. And Mr. Kohan was describing when Bhagavan was saying all these things, Bhagavan was so animated that he did his hand like this and the hand stayed up in the air. Because the connection that you can feel with all the past sages and present sages is the same energy, same divinity, same self. Outwardly everyone looks different, but it is the same pure self which actually keeps you into that reverence, that respect for everyone. Here there is no role of any jealousy, no role of all those pretentious personalities of showing something or not, because everything is same in that. Doesn't matter. Some personality, some piece of different type of nature of a guru or a sage might be different, but in totality, in essence, it's the same pure self which is in all of us. And satsang is a place where everyone has that the same intention to get absorbed in their own pure self and to stay there forever. And so whoever is doing satsang, whichever group, whatever part of the world, whatever the name of the group, it doesn't matter. That purity coming from that intention to remember and to abide in that pure self is enough to keep that energy in that group, to elevate our level of consciousness, to change our vibration at which we are living. Because the vibration at the ego level, at the personality level is very, very low. It is, once you have tasted the higher vibration, you will never actually like it. Maybe for the sake of, you can say, in a company or a fun, you might say something which looks like coming from a lower level, but that self in us is observing even that mimicry or that acting or whatever it has to, because of that environment someone is acting like that, but it has no meaning. That is why so many times people say that, in front of sage, making a joke or something, people think it is difficult because your energy doesn't want to go that low. Even in the presence of sage, you want to stay and to go down. Even when Bhagavan was there, people sometimes used to do some sort of fun sometimes with him, which he used to enjoy actually. And I remember, I think it was Major Chadwick, I think, who was trying to fan on one side and try to hide the fan, and then Bhagavan thought where the air is coming from, and then small jokes, small things, funny things. Because the thing is that self does not know how to pretend. It just stays. It goes back to its own, that original state. And so even if someone is pretentious or want to prove a point, there is no win or lose for anything, for any matter in pure self. Because you hit your original, your inherent originality. So all what you have learned to prove a point is useless. There's nothing else left to show to the world. Like in Hindi there is a word udasin bhav, or you become so neutral. There is no fun or excitement or to prove anyone any point for anything.
Here there is a nice word in Sanskrit, nirvyaja shanta. Sincerity of purpose is so much that there is no question of, there's no vyaja, no reason for this shanti. It is so sincere that there is no avyaja karuna. There's no reason for that karuna, compassion. Nirvyaja shanta, avyaja karuna. These are the words used. So there is no question of, there is no extra grind. It is just that purity.
Very, very true. So always when we are trying to be that, you try to be that only. And in that process, if things are receding, if you think you're losing any possession, that is better. And to stay in your original state of that neutral. Don't try to change for any reason to impress upon someone, or someone is unhappy because you are now like this, or because you are not like, you don't have to pretend. When you are in self, then so many things will drop, and it is so good, and it's like unfolding, happening slowly and gradually in most of the people. So many things which we or our mind thought they are important, they just fall apart. There is no meaning left to those things. And sometimes you wonder that why there is a sage in a cave while all the excitement is in our life. Money, name, fame, gadgets, all in this materialistic life. So a worldly mind cannot even think how a person can just live in a cave, detached from. It looks like he's doing sacrifice, but actually we are doing sacrifice living in this materialistic world. We are sacrificing our pure self, not being in that, and following our mind like a dog which is following by its tail. Wherever the tail is wagging, it goes there. You can read dog's mind by just the wagging of tail. That is a sansaric man, a worldly person. Wherever there is name or fame or money or praise, or he will just go into that direction. All the materialistic things. It is not that a sage, if there is good food, or he will not like it, but he is not running for anything. What comes, comes, what goes, goes. Because there is so much of contentment within you. You have got that Kohinoor, that jewel, that precious thing in you. And actually we are all looking for that. Even when we look for things externally, we are looking for that jewel within us, though we might not know. I'm talking about not as a spiritual person, but anyone who is looking for happiness outside. Outside happiness, we are looking because we think it is outside. But once you touch your heart, nothing matters, not even this body. And so, no mind talk is impressive. First thing is, all what we were getting impressed by our own knowledge or our own abilities, we are not getting impressed anymore. What the mind says, look, I am smart, I have done this is my story, I have achieved this. Going into the past or picking up something, it has zero interest. When it has zero interest in its own story, how can it get impressed by others' stories? Everyone is interested in their own story, isn't it? And when we get impressed by others' story, because we want to be like that, or we pick up some abilities of others which we appreciate because we want those abilities in us. Same thing happens in spirituality. Our level is guru or God or whatever the teaching is, and you don't want to stay at a level of a student or a seeker. You want to be that, and to be that, you are so much absorbed in those qualities or those teachings that you live like that by effort and then naturally. So don't think a devotee of Shiva is a devotee of Shiva. He's Shiva himself. It looks to you that he is praising only Shiva, but he is Shiva. He has to be Shiva. If his level of devotion is in that duality, to stay inferior, then there is no point even in bhakti or even in this knowledge. then we have lost the whole plot. Then we are just doing like the whole world is doing, that there is someone outside which we cannot reach. So some people, even Bhagavan, they take Bhagavan as something, or that only Bhagavan is there. No, we can't be. And that mind's obstacle to be that what Bhagavan is. You don't have to wear kopina or live in a cave to be Bhagavan. You just have to know yourself within. That's all. You are exactly him. The external form, external body, where you belong to doesn't matter. He has told so many times, he is our own self talking to us in our this waking dream to bring us back. That is your own karuna, your own compassion of yourself, which has come in form of a teaching, in form of a person, and then it is trying to bring you back here. Now you can say there are billions of people in this world, and these teachings are open, and anyone can pick up these teachings and can reach there. That's true. But still, there are only few hundred or maybe few thousand people. So you can say whom he chooses, because then you get surprised why then others are not. So again, it is the one he chooses. And why he chooses, he only knows. Nobody can tell. It is so strange if you look into the whole thing, and then a seeker is trying to be that. And then there are obstacles. Now, where these obstacles are coming, or people think I can't focus, or I sometimes lose interest, or sometimes I get into ego or the mind attack and I get lost. So who is causing all this obstacle? That is also coming from the same source. Same Ishvara, same power. Same power is trying to bring you here, and same power is creating obstacles. So why is this happening? When you understand why this is happening, you can be free at that moment. This is happening to make sure that when you are there, then only self is there. There's nothing else there. It is like a process of cleansing, rubbing you against, so only the purest of pure is left, and that is self. And what you are not cannot even be there. But for the ego, it looks like I'm not there and there are obstacles. And because, Kabir has said beautiful thing, that this love lane is so narrow that two cannot go into it. What two he is talking about? This pure self and the ego self. So to be as pure self, that there can't be ego self. That will vanish, that will disappear. If you see, even in this illusion, even in this resistance and obstacles, it is compassion only playing like this, making it difficult, making the path so narrow that your ego cannot squeeze into it. It has to die. It has to vanish. Understand this whole thing. This whole thing is all compassion. Even whatever wrong is happening, all this obstacle coming, this is to get the right thing in and the wrong thing out. It is sieving, it is clearing, disentanglement. It is a very beautiful process, and this all is because of compassion. Compassion of God, compassion of yourself, pure self. That is why it is happening like this. This is good. Just understand, by mistake, if your ego start feeling that you are free, it will be a big disaster, isn't it? a person who is in bondage start saying that he is free, how big that bondage would be then? Then who can make him free? A completely disillusioned person cannot be free at any time by anyone. It could be more dangerous than even being a humble spiritual seeker. So all this resistance, we have to have total acceptance to it. No fighting with that also. That will make you purest of pure. And this obstacle doesn't come in form of someone coming from external world or ET. It is your own surrounding in which you feel some resistance and things not conducive to your spiritual seeking, but actually it is conducive to your spiritual seeking. Things which look odd to us, actually, if you look from, if you have a whole broad picture of everything, panoramic view, you will understand everything, even wrong, has a place in it for your freedom. And then you will be full of compassion for that absolute which has created all this for your freedom.
It is said, take spiritual advantage of every situation.
Yes, everything is advantageous only. It is the mind which thinks or tells you that it's an obstacle. So, though keep Bhagavan's teachings at that level, but you be at that level always. Not a step down. Because Bhagavan has already declared He is the self in us. Then how you can have duality or keeping Him at that? Mind will do it because mind doesn't want to vanish. And that is the technique. He will keep your guru or teacher at that pedestal and you yourself a little bit below, and keep that duality and keep that path as if you are, if you one day you will be there. One day you will disappear. One day you will not be there. One day you will disappear who is thinking he will be there. And what is left is only Bhagavan, that pure self. Path of knowledge is so easy, so simple. Once it goes into your deepest of understanding, you are free at this moment. You are actually free. You just need right understanding to know that you are free. And then whatever is that bondage, you never fall back into it. This is the cage of your mind. Your ownership of this body mind. You're feeling that you are doer. You're feeling that you have lived a life with achievements and failures. Once you know that it is all just happening and you are always free, that is real freedom. Some people, they think about destiny and free will, and in Bhagavan's time, a lot of people ask this question. And that is, and Bhagavan's answer was so clear that leave it to destiny so you can be free. Otherwise, if you think it is your free will, you will be in bondage. Then you will always be doer, trying to do something, making ego play all the roles. This is so beautiful. That is why even if you don't believe and your mind doesn't believe in Bhagavan's teaching, just accept it. I'll tell you, your freedom will be so quick. Because whatever he tells us is to make our life easier, simple, and the path so direct that the freedom is not away from us. We are that freedom. The moment you leave everything to destiny, whatever is happening, then who is the doer? The moment doership goes away, you are in your bliss. You pick up Bhagavan's one teaching and absorb it, you are free at that moment. Nothing else needs to be done. Bhagavan's teachings always starts with, he talks about all types of paths. Path of action, yoga, breathing, pranayam, japa. But then he comes to this, that who are you? Who is doing it? Who is doing all these things? Look within. Who am I? And then everything drops. Everything drops. Biggest irony is people who have no freedom, they all think they have free will. And the sage who knows he's free never uses free will. How ironical this thing is, isn't it? See all people with huge egos. Bigger the ego, bigger they have free will. I can do it. I can achieve it. I have accomplished it. I have done it. And the one who is actually free never uses his freedom. All free will is associated with the ego, nothing else. If you understand that, you cannot say that I have done it even in your mind for anything smaller or bigger. Because you start feeling it as a sin. Like someone else is doing or not doing things and we take credit or discredit. How shameful it is. And that is what's happening with all of us. All the time, he's giving us or he's taking away things in both ways, whatever the plan is. And when things happen, we take credit, and when things don't happen, then we take discredit also. We feel bad, unhappy. While this is our choice, the moment we understand this whole game and this open secret, we can enjoy our bliss all the time and be contented and happy and allow things to happen in their own way. The moment you start living life as a witness, this godly secret will no more a secret to you. Self will reveal itself to you. Everything will be so crystal clear. And this is the knowledge of knowledge. Rest all knowledge is part of your dream. All the knowledge acquired in this dream is for prosperity, raising the comfort of a person, of an individual. Who is that person? Are you that person? The whole world is trying to give comfort levels to an individual, to a person. But anyone is that person? Who is that person? Our all endeavors are to please a body or someone who says he does for others. other bodies. Who are these other bodies in your dream world? And what is this body? And see, our whole life is just providing comfort to this body or other bodies in different ways. If you are a good person, I'm not talking about a bad person, I'm talking about a good person. But good person is in as much illusion as a bad person. Though for good person there will be good stuff coming his or her own way. But they both are in this mental cage. But yes, goodness is the first step. A bad person cannot be, because the mind is so active in when you do bad stuff. Good, still there is some sattvic to it. But understand, outside this individual approach, we are free. Have you seen what Bhagavan used to say? Do. He used to have his breakfast and then a stroll, lunch, then a stroll, then maybe evening tea and a stroll, and then dinner and then sleep. Just walking a little bit, body moving, coming, eating, sleeping. Always available for everyone to share his peace, his happiness. People came from all walks of life, all over the world, to gain that peace. And he starts with Upadesh Saram. He starts with the first verse, that no action in this world can bring you happiness. He is so clear about it. How important you think an action is, it's useless to bring you any freedom. He discards it at the first go, all actions. While if you see, most of the religious activities are action and helping poor and helping others and helping do this, that. It is good for society, you can say it's good for any community, but is it bringing freedom to you? That is the reason why you are here today. Is it bringing freedom to you? Or it is bringing more bondage to you? Thousands of people came during Bhagavan's presence, telling them that that's what I'm doing to help others and this and that. He used to listen to everyone. And then people started asking him, why you are not doing anything? You're just sitting here. Why don't you help others? He kept quiet, or he used to say, who are others? A person in dream will take everything seriously, but once you know that this is a dream, when you are uninvolved witness, everything is so clear to you. It's not that your compassion decreases in any way. It increases manifold, because everything is your own projection. You can't find default in anything. Whatever it is, it is. It is just creation, just like your dream at night. You only realize when you come out of that dream that all the characters in this dream were only my own projection. Though during the dream you were having issues with people or whatever it was happening, right now is also all part of you only. It's your own projection of your own mind. Then how can you argue or fight or hate? You can only love. Do you think if something is created by you, you will you want thing created by you to reciprocate you in the way you would behave with them? Who is bigger? You, the source, or the entities coming out of that source? Who has more responsibility, you or those entities? Who will take care of all those entities? The one who is the source? Who will love everything? The one who is the source? Let's say in your family you are father and you had 4 kids and all had some memory issue and they can't remember that you are father. They treat you as a stranger, but you know that you are father. You know they are all your kids. Can you treat them badly? You will love them as much as any father loves their kids. They will think, hey, he's hopeless. He's not my father. He doesn't know. I don't know him. Because he is an illusion. Understand this. This is very important. These are very subtle things. But if it touches your heart, you can be free at this moment if you understand this. This is very subtle. But if you understand that whatever you are seeing outside is not outside, it is coming from inside. Because when you sleep in deep sleep, everything disappears. You are the source. And don't compare your notes with other people, because other people are part of this dream. They're not outside the dream. If you want to compare the notes, compare with a jnani, the one who is outside the dream. Only he can tell you the truth. Or you can be the truth. Stay as what you actually are, even in this dream. And it is not difficult. Let this dream go the way it is going. And you stay as an uninvolved witness to everything. Remember, you can get involved if anything happens to this body or to this mind or to this name. Then that ego tries to protect and keeps you as a separate. Remember that also and watch that also. Be witness to that also. Power of witnessing is so much that if you start witnessing, the one which was taking control of this body mind to protect it from so-called others, because for the ego everything is other, because ego is coming from mind, not from you. So it has no clue where this picture is coming from. It doesn't know the source. It thinks, I am this body and there are others. So when a good person thinks I will help others, a bad person might think he might kill others or whatever, exploit others. But in both ways they are in illusion. Because this ego doesn't know the source. But the source can watch it. You are the source. You are that awareness which has created all this drama in front. You stay as a witness. When you start staying as a witness, you will see the play of the mind, thoughts coming, reporting to you. And then you will notice that there is a witness, and these thoughts are being received by someone in the middle. This middleman is the ego, which gets hurt, which manipulates, which gets angry, upset, scared, fearful, or too much joy also sometimes, attachments, so-called love, which actually is attachment. All this comes. Watch it. Your watching will dissolve this ego gradually. And because there will be no ego, there will be no one at the receiving end of all these thoughts. And so there is no one on the receiving end of these thoughts. Thoughts will stop coming. Thoughts are not serving anything for that self. They are subserving this entity called ego, which thinks it owns this body mind. This is illusion. When you stay as a witness, this beautiful thing will happen. This ego will dissolve. These thoughts will stop because there is no entity where they are going. And what is left is this just aliveness, this lightness. It is hard to feel the body and hard to be compassionate to an extent that we are right now. Like attachment to the body. If something goes wrong to the body, we think it has gone wrong to us. A thought coming to the mind, we think it is our bad thought or emotional thought or whatever. Because there is no entity which has any ownership to the body and mind. So you're always in this impartial neutral zone. You're not getting impressed by the body or depressed by the body. And the moment you detach from this body, you detach from all these dream bodies. With your attachment and with your even repulsion or whatever it is. And what it actually does is, it tells you the truth. That you are the only one entity. There's nothing except self. You are the king. You are everything. There's no second. Then where is comparison or fight or jealousy or whatever the ego was doing? Where is place for anything? Nothing. Just think, if you are the only one living in this world, you are the only one living in this world and you know that. How would you live? Tell me. Do you want to build a bigger house because your neighbor has a very big house? You want to make... What would you do? Tell me. If you are the only one living in this whole planet Earth, how would you live? This is what it is. Yes, Ruchi, you want to ask something?
I do want to ask something. You say first, let go. Yes, accept everything. So there is no control, you're being a witness. But then, by being a witness, you become the king. Isn't that very ironical? That
No.
you have to give up everything to get everything.
No, who is getting everything? It is the ego saying, I'm getting everything. Nobody is saying you're getting everything.
No, you are saying be a witness, right? To be a witness, you have to give up your doership and you just accept whatever is.
Yes.
Is that right? Whatever is happening, you accept and do not get emotionally involved in it.
Not emotionally. No. It's not about emotional involvement. It is no involvement. Don't take it as an
no
emotional involvement.
Yes, no involvement whatsoever. You're just being a witness, meaning accepting whatever is happening in your life. The way it is happening
That
is
is
the perfect.
again wrong. Again, you're
Yeah.
talking from that ego. Your life.
Hmm.
What is your life? Don't take it as my life and your life. Just whatever it is. If you use these strong things like emotionally involved, your life, then you are still trapped in so much of ego. Then you can't give up. You can't let go.
Okay.
It is not your life or my life. It is just life. This is the problem, because we are holding everything. It is my life. It is my emotions. That is the problem. You can't do witnessing with ego. Anyone who is doing witnessing with ego will always fail. Because ego cannot witness. Only something which is neutral, which has no stake in this world, can witness.
All waves have the basis is water. Only because of the water, waves arise. So if you have to take the standpoint of the water and not the wave, you are taking the standpoint, Ruchi, you are taking the standpoint of the little wave and saying XY is a bigger wave. So I am going to take this little wave and be a witness to that little wave. No, you become the water. You will become witness of everything.
Okay, thank you.
From where you are trying to witness, you can never witness. That my emotions, my life. Understand everything is part of that. Even your body mind and other body minds and everything. Stay in that neutrality. Try to understand who is witness. Mind is not witness here. Ego is not witness. Witness has no words. Witness doesn't even know that this thing is for me and this is for others.
But isn't initial witnessing a personal activity? No? When you begin.
That is what exactly Neelakantanji was saying. You are staying as wave and then trying to witness other waves. You have to turn into water. You have to get out of this entity. What you are saying you are witnessing, that is never can witness anything. And the thing is that because witnessing is a word which again you are taking it as an entity, that I am watching something like a security guard, that is judgment. If you are witnessing like what is my action, what are others' action, that you are again getting into mind, part of the mind domain only. Me and you. There is no me and you. Don't give this as feed to the mind, all this talk. Rather than understanding from the mind and into intellect, if something by that grace clicks in you and brings you to this witness box, then don't move. How it will happen, why it will happen, in whom it will happen, when it will happen, nobody can say. But yes, it will happen if there is that longing. But this witnessing is not that hyper vigilant state of like a watchman. It is, there is no word to explain. That's why we have to take help of the words. But it is the silent witnessing happening all the time. Even when we are talking, there is this self which is watching this thing but is not involved in it. And allowing it to happen. You are that, be that. Mind has no clue about it. Mind can only witness other egos, other individuals, other things, which is of no value.
So when you're saying allowing it to happen, I really have no control. It is just happening.
Yes, nobody has control on it.
Yep. So it is, that's what I was saying. Whatever is happening is happening.
Yes.
Is.
Yeah.
And that's a full stop.
Nobody has control. They stay like that, that's all. Then who is the doubter? Who has doubt?
The mind has doubts.
So keep quiet. Why you want to be advocate of this mind when you know that this is the doubt in the mind, and it will keep bringing doubts till you believe in these doubts.
Can I say one thing, please?
Yes, Vidya.
In talks, somebody had asked this question, and then Bhagavan says the word witnessing often implies duality, so there's confusion. So he says just take it as presence, just simple presence. In its presence, everything is happening. Don't take it as witness, because sometimes we say witness, we think that too. So, thank you.
Very true. Yeah, we are always short of word. This, I think, call it isness. But then calling it, whom I'm telling, just to the mind, it's useless. You can give any word, but if mind receives on the other end, how can you go back? If the mind is the receiver. So receiving should not be at the mind. Receiving should be at that, in your heart, at that self. Be that self. Because whatever the teaching even goes, if the filter is mind, then it will create its own concept of everything. Just be. Be is not a witness, and witness is also not a witness. That's why I love to say it is uninvolved witness. Because a witness can be a party to things like, in court, a witness is being called, that what was happening. He can judge things. He can say this was not right and this was. No. So I started with a very simple reality that if everything is coming from you, then how can you judge? What would you judge? Then if you want to judge, then you are the wrong person because you are the source through which mind has projected even the wrong stuff. You have to be blamed for that also, not others. And all the goodness also comes from there only. But to know that, you have to be first that pure witness. At mind level, this all talk is useless. But if you can listen to this from your heart and abide in that silence, which comes when there is a pure witnessing happening, or isness, or that presence only, or just be even all these words don't carry that meaning, only silence carries that meaning. Because to say anything, you have to use a word, and mind is very quick to pick up the words and make its own interpretation. So that is why sometimes people say in different ways the same thing again and again. So somehow these words escape your mind and reach your heart, to open up your heart. Till you believe in mind, thoughts, till you stay as the owner of all these thoughts, until then, freedom is next to impossible, because freedom is not outside, freedom is all inside. Freedom is from this ongoing self-talk, this mind, which we call as mind. And what is the fuel to the mind? Fuel to the mind is all duality. All our likes, dislike, judgmental, critical about things, analyzing things, planning, desires. But can we just let mind do what it wants to and just stay as just isness? Once you understand, and even if you can do it for a second, you will know what I'm talking about. When you stay as you are, but not taking any support from the mind or intellect or body or emotions or your issues or concepts, just when you stay like this, the mind will come, because it is not gone. It has no clue what you're doing. It will give you an idea. This is just crazy, stupid idea to be a witness. What do you mean by witness? Mind can do anything because you're listening from mind only. But there is some innate power in us which can take us beyond, which can transcend this mind. Like they say, penny drops, something can happen listening to it, which can transcend you. So you're no more taking help from mind, you are just listening. You can listen without mind. You can listen without intellect. You are that absolute. You are that Shiva through which all these things projects out. And you use a body to communicate. But you are not that body. And from that same self, other bodies project. You are none of the bodies. If you want to know who you are, only silence can tell you who you are. Nor any word. No word can help you. In all your interactions or no interactions, stay as that awareness. Who has to remind you to stay as awareness? You don't need help of the mind. more you stay in your own silence and the body is involved in an action or you are involved in a discussion with this body, there's no conflict. If this somehow this thing you're this from where you operate moves back at the level of awareness, somehow it just happens. It will happen if you keep doing. There's no right or wrong way about it, but it just happens, and it happens for everyone who is interested. But for that you don't have to listen from the mind and make a concept out of it. Just let it be. Another clue I want to give you about this isness is that try to stay in this impartial, neutral, inner atmosphere where nothing affects, where you feel weightless, where you feel empty, where somehow everything is in balance, where you feel the least resistance within you. Where nothing has any value, where nothing affects. That is in our heart. Again, heart is just a concept. Don't go with the heart and try to make an image of the mind. But this is something in us, in all of us. Believe me, there is not one single person in the world which has no self. Everyone has that self, and everyone can reach that self. You might stumble, you might go around, you might not understand, you might use mind, but somehow by something, if you are mad about it, you keep splashing in the water and you'll start swimming. It will happen. It happens. There is no right way or wrong way. There is only one way. One way to the self. I think with right understanding, with right something, it just fits, you reach there. It's like a river going through the mountains. It takes its course, goes up and down, and then suddenly it settles and reaches where it has to. Come out of the mind, come out of whatever is going outside in your dream world, this waking dream. And when you go within and when you search, though it looks dark, looks like there's nothing there. But the moment you touch this inner self, this self-effulgent, purest of pure knowledge, it is like 1,000 suns shining inside you. When you touch, you know. It is so self-revealing. You don't need any praman. You don't need any proof for it. You are that proof. But it is all within. If you want to search it outside, there is no point. That is why Bhagavan, even after Bhagavan Annamalai Swami, he discouraged people who were going on pilgrimage or holy waters or doing something or the other. He said, just look within. This is the reason Bhagavan even discouraged yoga, doing breathing exercises and other things. He just wants you to be there. So just be there. This isness is in all of us. The moment you have zero interest in anything other than self, self will reveal you yourself. This is so simple. It will never reveal to you, even after millions of births, if you have even a fraction of interest in anything else. At least for a second, if you can give even 1 second for that self, 100%, you can find it. That is why sometimes japa and pranayam, breathing, all these try to bring your attention, diverse mind into one focused mind, and then that focused mind you use to search within, and then the journey can be quick. I don't know. But if you bring all your energy within to know this self, self is always shining. You are that self. Even these things that don't doership or witnessing, these terms have no meaning. We say because we don't know what to say. If you stop taking all the commands from your mind and sit and relax as pure self, everything will be fine. Only you know when you are in the ego mode and how much painful it is in the ego mode. All your relations, attachments, all your planning, all is from there. Let's say everything is going on in your life the way it is, but you are in that awareness. It makes huge difference. You're always peaceful. You are in your own bliss. You don't disown anyone, any relationship. So it all depends where you are operating from the ego mode or just this pure presence. You can call it anything or nothing. It is actually nothingness. But when you listen from the ego, it looks like ego gives you this idea even about this self as that you can become a king of the whole world or something like that. King of the whole world? Tell me, how do you feel when you break your dream? When you get out of the dream in morning, you think you were the king of your dream? You feel stupid, isn't it? Same Jnani feels that he was acting stupid. Who wants to own a dream and say, I'm the king of my dream? When you know it is a dream, then who is king? Who is beggar? But again, words always are short of taking you there, but still everyone tries. Everyone has tried. Thousands of books have been written for such a simple thing, and still it slips away. What can you do? Let's sit in silence and let's be there only. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Joe Prashad puts it very nicely. Yato vacho nivartante apra manasa saha. Where the mind cannot go. Forget about the words. We cannot go even nearby.